Howdy peeps, you're tuned to BTV and I'm Malice, and I'm hoping you've made yourselves comfy and are ready to get into the show we have lined up for you. Kicking off, we have the final part of Quedia's behind the scenes look at joy. Let's find some joy together now.
Good evening, welcome to BTV. I'm Steve Pereira and you're on Quedia once again, where we explore all things queer and everything media. We're talking about Joy, a fabulous radio station which is our own local baby, but which we're very proud to share with the rest of the world via the web. We're talking about Joy, past, present, the future, and we're here with Carol Wilkinson, past, present and current icon of the gay community. And we're talking about Joy the Future. Welcome back, Carol.
Thank you very much.
Now, Joy the Future, we touched very briefly on the past, the present. In today's world, with the mainstream of the gay community, now we've touched on this briefly, is there a place for organisations such as Joy in today's world?
I think there is. And to some extent, I think there probably always will be. In the last episode that when we spoke, I think we talked a little bit about the fact that we would like to be in a position where, as GLBTI community members, we would love to not have to have any organisations that were specifically for us, for the simple reason that we don't need them. We've got total acceptance within the general community. But at the same time, it doesn't matter how accepted you are within a community. We all like at some point, or at some times, to be with like-minded people. And I think that that's where Joy can provide something for people who are within the GLBTI community and can keep doing that.
But that's one of the ironies of the new age, is even as global culture spreads, we increasingly become more niche audience in terms of our individual interest. If you're interested in knitting macrame, if that such thing exists, you can connect with somebody in Peru who does it, and you can have your own community.
That's true.
And so there is this room for these particular communities of people. But the purpose has changed. Before it was about affirmative action and making sure that we were out there and visible. What would be the purpose now?
Look, I don't think that purpose has changed a great deal at this point, and maybe it won't in the future. You've only got to look at what's happening in places like Russia to know that we can sometimes be on thin ice as far as acceptance is concerned. Now, I don't have a crystal ball and I don't know what is likely to happen in that regard in the future. But I suspect there's always going to be some rather bigoted, shall we say, nasty people in the world that do not like difference, that don't appreciate difference, that are not pro-diversity, and that will always be perhaps pushing towards segregating us, even though we might be eventually integrated into the mainstream community.
But there also is an internal purpose for us within the communities as well, is that even though we've reached visibility ourselves as queer people within the larger community, again, talking about the communities within our community, the transgender, race is a huge issue as well. The clear racism or lack of visibility of people of colour or ethnicity within our community is also an issue. And does Joy play a role in that? Is there a sense of that?
I think that Joy can continue to play a role because Joy is one of the organisations, or it's a medium, I should say, that can be used even when people don't want other people to realise that they're using it. Now, we've said for many, many years that one of the good things about Joy, and particularly with younger people, is if they didn't want to come out to their parents, they could still access Joy with a set of headphones in their room. Their parents wouldn't know that they were listening to a gay radio station, and it gave them a connection with the community that they may not otherwise have had. It's much easier to listen to a radio station than it is to hide a gay magazine under the bed or, risk it being found.
And I can personally attest to that, yes.
Yeah. And I think that in terms of other other parts of the GLBTI community, whether it be regarding different ethnicities and colour, whether it depends on whether you happen to be gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, intersex, or anything else that you want to call yourself within that community. If there are still areas that are needing to have that little bit of anonymity, Joy will provide that, and does it probably better than any other medium. So yeah, I think that going on into the future, there's very much a need for Joy. I think that there is some great ways that Joy can help the various members of the community. And I can't see that there's any reason for Joy not to exist well into the future. Yeah.
And now with the web, of course, and with podcasting and all of that, what we used to do for a local community, we can now do for a global community.
It's worldwide. It doesn't have to be just Melbourne or just inner Melbourne even. It can be anywhere in the world that you can access Joy on the web.
Absolutely. And so the idea of radio station that is now multimedia and multi-platform is truly exciting. Does Joy have a particular Australian voice, do you think? Or is it part of the global...
That's a very good question. I don't know. I have never thought about that. And look, perhaps it does, because the way things are at the moment, I think that there's probably more Australian accents on Joy.
But does it have an Australian...
a feel to it?
Feel to it. I was listening in the car the other day, and all of the presenters were British and had very strong British accents.
Yeah.
But
as am I, of course.
As are you, and I've got an unbelievable sort of mixture of an accent. But as we were driving, I was talking to my friend, and I said, but there still is something particularly Australian about this. This is not something you'd hear in Britain or Canada or anywhere else. And I couldn't put my finger on it.
Look, and I don't think I could either. I don't think I could put my finger on it, because I think that sometimes the thing that makes you Australian, if you knew what it was, maybe you'd lose it even.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a good thing. I like it.
Maybe just the fact of the diversity that proves that it is completely Australian, and the freedom, and I mean the references are all Australian, but across cultures. I mean, everybody talks about Madonna. She's global.
Yeah,
and we're global.
Yeah.
And Kylie, who by the way was the first person on the playlist at Joy, officially.
Yeah.
Or it was Jimmy Barnes.
I think it was Kylie. I'm not sure. I'd have to check that.
I'm kind of hoping it was Jimmy Barnes.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, but that's it. That's Joy, our very own Australian baby, media icon. Thank you so much, Carol, for being with us.
Absolute
It's been
pleasure.
really interesting talking about Joy and its longevity, and we hope it's going to be around for a really long time.
I certainly hope so.
You've been watching Steve Pereira and Carol Wilkinson on Quedia. We've been talking all things joyful. Stay tuned for more stuff coming up in further episodes. If you missed any part of us, get us on the website. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Thanks, Steve. And how lucky we are to have the fantastic Joy in our lives. It often makes me think of Perfect Strangers and the Dance of Joy. I think I'm showing my age here. Look it up on YouTube, and while you're there, look up Bent and become a subscriber too. See you after the break. Ginny is once again taking us into the pop-flavoured world of Max Leon, where we would get to hear some of Max's musical stylings. Over to you, Ginny.
Hey, this is Ginny back on BTV for Powered Entirely by Ginny, and part 2 of my interview with my fellow Sri Lankan sister Max Leon. Hello.
Hello, darling.
Got me again.
Got you
with the Sri
again.
Lankan accent. Now, this is the second time I'm having you on the show, because the first time you gave us a bit of a treat with a world premiere of Sitting on Top of the World. The treat did come in singing form, not a package.
No,
or
not
a
a wrapped
cupcake.
present.
No,
Well,
not a cupcake.
I was
Gotta
wrapping
hook that
in
up, yo.
there, but
Now, I want to speak to you a little bit more about your Sri Lankan background.
Sure.
So, you and I are in a minority, being the fact that we're both Sri Lankan and we're both gay and lesbian.
We're both gay and lesbian.
Gay and lesbian. We encompass
Just
all the
if you
letters.
didn't know that. Yeah.
So tell me, how did your parents take it when you came out?
They were really good. Like, my dad's Sri Lankan, so he's full Sri Lankan.
Yep.
He was amazing. Like, he's always been the sort of guy that's, if I'm happy, he's happy. So, and my mum's the same. Like, she's just supportive, and as long as I'm happy and, doing my thing, They're
doing your
fine.
thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So your mum's what nationality?
Portuguese.
Portuguese, Sri Lankan. Ah, okay, the mix, the nice burger mix. Well,
Very
they actually call
nice.
it burger in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, it's called
not being
burger. Not
politically
like
correct.
hamburger, but
No, it's called burger with a H.
Yeah.
In the middle.
correct.
So okay, so your parents were cool. You coming out.
Yeah.
Do you hope to perform in Sri Lanka one day?
I do. I've actually had someone from over there try and contact me about getting my single played on the radio over there, and hopefully going over there to do a couple of gigs, some interviews, and yeah, just spreading the love.
How do you think Sri Lanka will take Max Leon?
I don't know. I'm pretty scared. Like
I would be too, going to Sri Lanka and be
Yeah.
like, look at her, she's a lesbian.
I think I might
They
have to
thought
wear
you
a
was a Scorpio.
dress
I know, you might have to wear a dress, I reckon. They might not let
and a
you in.
wig or something. I'm just gonna have to wing it. We'll see how we go. I'll let you know.
You might have to be Maxine Leon over there.
Maxine Leon. That's it. Scary stuff.
Or what's a nice Sri Lankan name? Marian.
Dayanti.
Dayanti Leon. That could be your Sri Lankan.
Suranjika Leon.
That could be a Sri Lankan alias.
Got a nice ring to it.
It does. And actually, people are like, oh, look, she's come. Look at her.
Look at beautiful, no?
Shiranjika.
I have a son.
We're sitting on top of the world. It will be like, I have a son is like the
Yeah,
top line
I
when they
know.
find out. First question is, are you married? If it's no,
No.
it's like, I have a son or I have a nephew.
I have a nephew as a nephew's cousin who knows the High Commissioner. We can organise it, you know?
the
Free
High
wedding.
Commissioner somehow works his
wedding.
way in there somewhere. Do you
Always,
notice?
Always.
Or the National Guard.
That's how I got on X Factor. My uncle knows someone who knows Ronan Keating,
Who is the High
who
Commissioner's
knows
friend?
the High Commissioner's friend's cousin.
Who is this High Commissioner? We've got to get in touch with him.
I don't know. I don't think he even exists.
think he
It's like an
does.
ego thing.
All right, so you've got your first single that came out recently.
Yep.
You're going to have to help me pronounce it.
Okay, you ready? You need the hands for this one.
Okay, like this.
Todo
Todo
Para Ti.
Para Ti.
That's it.
That's not Sri Lankan, that's Spanish.
That's Spanish.
And it means
All for you.
all for you. And you're going to give us a sneak preview?
Maybe. Yeah, I will. Just a little bit.
Awesome. So over to you guys.
Take it away.
Sebastian and Brett.
Let's do it.
I saw you, you heard me. Now our lives are a journey. The passion, the yearning to be your number one. I feel you, you feel me. Let the rhythm take you there. I can't stop, I can't bear. There's feelings everywhere. Always you and I, para siempre. This I can't deny, para siempre. Todo para ti, everything I do. Todo para ti, everything is for you. Todo para ti, everything. The bassline, let it take you, let it unwind. The rhythm, the music, forever in my mind. Just let go, feel the flow, let it take over your soul. I can't stop, I can't bear. There's feelings everywhere. Always you and I, para siempre. Oh, this I can't deny, para siempre. Todo para ti, everything I do. Todo para ti, everything is for you. Todo para ti, everything. Todo para ti, everything that I do. Todo para ti, everything is for you. Todo para ti, everything. Hey, hey. Todo para ti, todo para ti. Todo para ti, todo para ti.
Todo para ti,
Thing that I do.
todo para ti,
Everything is for you.
todo para ti,
Everything. Yeah. Everything's for you.
todo para ti,
Hey.
everything that I do, todo para ti,
Everything is for you. Todo para ti. Everything. Todo para ti. Everything that I do. Todo para ti. Everything is for you. Todo para ti.
awesome. I learned a new Spanish saying today other than caliente.
Right.
Caliente means crazy.
It means
Apparently.
hot.
Crazy, I heard crazy. Crazy hot.
Muy caliente.
Muy
Very hot.
caliente, Todo Para Ti. That was the debut single there from Max Leon, Todo Para Ti. What is coming up for you for the rest of the year?
Secret.
Can't tell me.
Nah. It's huge.
Can you tell me?
It's
no,
huge.
it's huge?
Yeah.
Huge as in what? We're talking like huge as in...
Global.
Global?
Like Kanye West styles.
You're going to have a baby and you're going to name it a ridiculous name.
West North.
West... Get out. That's all.
Get out, man.
West North. That was Max Leon here on Entirely Powered by Ginni with special guests Sebastian and Brett. Thank you guys so much for joining me today.
Thanks for
again.
having us.
It's been Ginni on BTV.
Thanks to Ginny for bringing us some more Max. Will you be bringing us some feedback? Why not let us know what you're liking or loving on Bent TV by dropping us a line, and we'll see you back here soon. Finishing up tonight is a bit of dig deeper action, and I'm hanging out with Dylan, the host of the new show Queer Young Thing. Let's get ready to be edutained. Hello, welcome to Dig Deeper, and I'm once again chatting with Dylan, the lovely host of the new Bent TV production Queer Young Thing. Thanks for joining us again, Dylan.
Oh, my pleasure.
And I'd like to talk some more about some of the topics that Queer Young Thing will be covering. You're going to be discussing coming out, which is a topic I am always interested in. So many peeps have some bad coming out stories, but I'd love to hear some uplifting ones too. Was yours a bad or a good coming out, Dylan?
I had a horrendous coming out.
Oh no, did you?
Yeah, but there's a silver lining in
Yeah.
everything. Like
Yeah.
when I came out, I found myself homeless at 17. But the hindsight and the silver lining is I ended up coming to Melbourne. And hey, my life's been majestic, almost electric ever since. So yeah.
Came to the right place.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
great. Yeah. Okay. So I wonder, will you be talking about your experience on the show? Or?
Oh, that might come up. Maybe.
Good. Another reason to watch then. Excellent. So there are shows going to be dedicated to university and school. So I guess there are different issues if you're out in school versus uni.
Well, you got to think of it like I broke it into like two different things when I was looking at the brief when we first we were doing schools and university. Now you look at school where you first start identifying, but then with university you have much more of an onus on yourself. Also, what about our international students who come through and who may not have been able to come out in their home country?
Yeah.
So for them, when they come to an Australian university or any kind of Western university, for them, they can actually, as for the first time in their life, they can acknowledge that part of themselves that I guess a lot of us take for granted. So yeah, that should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that actually. Yes, I have. I went to university, and one of my students is Muslim and gay, and yeah, it's a really big deal for him in his home country. He just couldn't go back. Basically.
You know, I have a friend who's Muslim and genderqueer, so
wow,
that
okay.
was a
Yeah.
interesting time for him.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there you go. There's a religion popping up again.
Yeah.
So another very important topic the young folk will be discussing is feelings of depression. So it sounds like viewers should tune in to find out they're not alone and where to get some help.
That's true. That's really true. And with depression, I guess it also funnels into anxiety as well. In our community, there's internalized homophobia, and I remember reading through this chat that this guy had. Well, actually, he made a short film, and he was a straight man, and he interviewed his gay friends and also some gay guys that he didn't know because they all seem to say, I hate other gay men.
Oh,
And then
wow.
upon further inspection and further interviews, they realise, the hypothesis, or not the hypothesis, but the outcome was that these gay men, they had an issue with themselves, and the other gay men that they didn't like, that were they holding up a mirror to themselves, and were they seeing something that they didn't like in themselves? So that's one thing, that a big factor that can come into it. Also, isolation and depression is just such a big topic that I really think it should be like 2 episodes
and
maybe.
it's kind of across the whole community too, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Well, not just our own community,
Yeah,
but
that's right.
across
the straight
humanity.
community, yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a huge topic. You're right, depression. Well, I would definitely be tuning in for that one. So QYT is also looking at drugs and alcohol. Is that show going to focus on addiction and ways to combat this?
It's going to open up a dialogue more than anything else, because in our community we have quite high drug and alcohol dependencies. The stats for younger people, though, it looks as if younger people are declining in their use of drugs, however exceeding in alcohol. So if that's a cultural thing or if people are using it to self-medicate and to hide, then we'll be discussing more on that on the episode.
And I guess alcohol is still much more accepted kind of drug, isn't it, really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So there's that factor, I guess, yeah. And I will be tuning into the Love and Sex and Sexual Health show. Who doesn't love a bit of sex? I mean, love. Yeah. I think the vox pop on this one could be very interesting. Yeah, because we were talking before we came on about you and your partner, and you were saying this. Is there a connection between love and sex, right?
I don't think that there is a connection between love and sex. I'll be honest, I really hope he's not watching this right now. But I don't think that there is. I think that there are two separate things. But it'd be interesting to take on, I guess, what our queer young things will be talking about and what our elders will say, because I think there might be a point of contention. Or I could be completely wrong and they both agree and I'll be looking at this like an idiot.
So now, do you count yourself as one of the young folks, surely, right?
Oh, well, I do. Yeah. I think being 24, I'm just holding on to my youth.
Yeah, no, that's pretty young, right? So so your concept, because I don't know, love and sex to me, you don't have to be in love to have sex, obviously.
That's right.
But, it's part of a kind
so
of
that
like
really quickly.
You did, didn't you? Right? You were really, keen on that idea, yeah. And see, this is what I wonder also, whether it's a more gay men thing with the sex is different to, say, a bi girl, as I am, I would,
Look how many hookup apps there are for guys. And sex is just so commonplace and just so, I guess, accepted.
So that's going to be interesting, that one,
but
for sure.
Also, one thing that I'd like to highlight is when we look at sexual health and say the decline in sexually transmitted disease, take HIV for example, the stats are not showing that we're on a decline. The stats are actually showing the opposite, or that they're staying at a certain level and sometimes rising. So sexual health is something that I think my generation is not acknowledging. We're not practicing safe sex.
Okay, because I was around when we had the AIDS ads with the Grim Reaper. You would have heard about, I'm sure. But that made a massive impact on my generation as teenagers. So we carried through that safe sex thing, I think. But so maybe by this generation it's kind of been forgotten a bit.
I think a lot of people realise now that it's not a death sentence. And that takes away the severity. But what it is, it's still something that will affect you for your entire life.
Yeah, hells yeah. So just quickly, the Living Healthy show, will that be on how many serves of fruit and veggies you should be eating, the young folk?
No, we'll be talking about everything that comes into living healthy. We've also got Jason Ball, the out football player, coming on.
Awesome.
So he'll be giving a chat, and I think he's on our panel of elders as well, or experts. So it'd be great to tune in that one. And plus, who doesn't love a hot AFL player? Come on.
Yeah. So just finally, another show, you're going to be covering feeling stress and anxiety. And I'm really looking forward to that one because I'm a big stress head. So what about you? Are you a stress head?
I am the worst stress head. I just put it all into a little box and I'm like,
So this show will be good for us. This one.
Therapeutic, if you will.
Awesome. Hey, so many good issues being covered by Bent's new Queer Young Thing, which will be starting next week, taking up where Bent TV left off. So same Bent time. And so a massive thank you to Dylan, and I'm really looking forward to catching your work and that of the other Queer Young Things. Thanks, Dylan.
Oh, thank you.
I've been Malice, and this has been Dig Deeper with me. See you next time. Excellent taste of what's to come, so look out for Queer Young Thing next week, and Bent TV will be back in the not too distant future. Till then, keep it queer, and if you're off to bed, don't let the bed bugs bite, unless you want them to. Nighty night.